Hello party people, this is Witchfire, and at first glance it may look like a fast-paced FPS shooter similar to Painkiller, but it's actually not. It's a single-player extraction shooter with, as much as I hate to use that word, some Souls-like elements. Is it good though? There's some things you must know before you buy the game, so let's check it out. If at the end you liked what you've seen, subscribe for more and follow me on Twitch and Discord, links in the description. So, what do we actually do in Witchfire? Aside from looking extremely cool, we're playing as a badass called Prayer, trying to upset the evil witch on behalf of the Pope. This may sound a bit silly at the beginning, but the story and lore is actually conveyed in a well-crafted manner, and most of the lore is conveyed through item descriptions, letters, and the world itself. The game loop is pretty simple. You choose your loadout and research, burn an incense, which is a passive buff for the run, and go to your desired location where the prayer hunts down various enemies and collects Witchfire. If you survive and get back to your base, you can use said Witchfire to level up. Along with that, you can also upgrade your arsenal and level it up, which is a very cool concept. The more kills you get with the said weapon, the faster you can upgrade it. At first, only a couple locations will be open to you and you'll have to finish objectives to study Gnosis. But beware, and not of the dog. With higher Gnosis levels come more dangerous enemies. But on the other hand, you also unlock more gear to research, so it's up to you if you feel ready to progress. And don't worry, if you accidentally studied too hard, you can always farm on the first map, which doesn't really go up in difficulty except for the vault you unlock, and it's not mandatory for souls farming. Which is a good thing, because the vault itself contains something I really dislike, which we'll check now in the gameplay section. Let's dive deeper into the mechanics. Your prayer starts out with a gun or two, a spell and a relic. Which gear you get at the beginning depends on which prayer you choose. The classes here are Butcher, Hunter, Slayer, Shadow, Saint, and Penitent. They differ in starting stats as well as loadouts at the beginning, but later on the class you choose doesn't matter so much and you'll unlock every weapon of each class, but the Penitent is the hardest to start with. Spells are sorted into heavy and fast spells, and those range from offensive to defensive ones. Cone of Cold, for example, will freeze your enemies, buying you some time, while a Blight Cyst will attach to your enemy, and if you aim well, you shoot it, it will infect the enemies around the first one too for a quite nice dot AoE effect, and fireballs are just fireballs. You can check what every spell does before research and come up with some crazy synergies. And yes, the spells can level up too. Along that, you'll find rosary beads, and those are awesome. At first you can wear just one rosary bead, but with higher Gnosis you can wear even more. Those give very good passives, from more weapon range to more healing elixirs carried, so you'll want to find those and equip them. Healing elixirs are pretty rare, at least at the beginning, so you'll have to be careful about how you approach things. You get free at the beginning, and the drops from chests and enemies are not exactly plentiful. Avoiding hits is preferred here. And when I say that the drops for elixirs are not plentiful, there's an arcana which gives you more elixirs from killed enemies, and the percent chance changes for a whole plus 1%. I know, very generous from the game. Now to the important part. How does the combat feel? Well, pretty good, I must say, and while at first glance it may seem it's just running around and gunning down your enemies, it's much more than that. In order to survive, you'll have to cleverly use your environment and tools given to you, because you'll most certainly always be outnumbered. The game teaches you that pretty early on, and if you don't remember the lessons, you'll have a very bad time. The enemies come in packs, and you can always check your map to see how hard the pack is. The bigger the horns on a skull, the harder the pack is, and after you absolutely destroy them, they leave behind coagulated Witchfire crystal, which you can use to unlock Arcana. Arcana is a temporary power granted for the run, and you get one for each pack defeated. At the beginning, the choices you get are very RNG based, and you might not get what you want, but as you progress through Gnosis level, you get prophecies, which will help you in making the Arcana much less RNG, which is very helpful. A quick word about Gnosis, a very important mechanic here. Yes, Gnosis level makes all but one map harder, but also yields more rewards and cooler gear, so it evens out. Well, kind of. Believe me, at Gnosis 4, the maps change quite a bit. Not in the layout, but in the enemy composition. Let's take the second map, Scarlet Coast, for example. At Gnosis level 0, there is moderate challenge. The enemy packs aren't particularly challenging, to be honest, but the elite drowned captain who actively starts looking for you can pose a bit of a problem at the beginning. Jump to Gnosis level 2 and suddenly enemy packs will include more dangerous enemies and more traps. Not only that, now you have to worry about sanity. For every so-called mistake you make, be it being too greedy or taking hits, you'll get little eye counters in the upper left corner. When you get enough of that, a calamity will start and the first time you will think, uh-oh, better get out of here, until you realize the witch's calamity curse is actually a blessing, because upon finishing whatever she throws at you there, you'll get some great loot. Just be sure not to fight the calamity in the middle of another enemy pack. That can spell trouble for you. Along with that comes the warden, and if he sees you, his light will glow red if you don't kill him in time, and he'll summon a bunch of enemies, and it's just insane what he does. So if you don't take care of him, it can spell trouble. You can also avoid him, so there's that. But why would you do that if you can get some sweet loot instead? We also have bosses on maps called familiars, which are pretty challenging, some more than others of course, but all of them are doable if you go into the fight prepared. They are really cool though, and I hope more will come with future updates, but even now in early access there is a lot of content here and I'm looking forward to future updates. But not everything is great. The first complaint I have here is spawning into the map. Sometimes you'll finish loading and already hear battle going on because you'll be spawned in the middle of the pack. That's not a problem on Isle of the Damned, the first map, but on later map it's not fun. I was once spawned in the middle of a hard pack and an elite roaming around, and while I managed to escape with my life, I packed whatever I got from there and left to my base because I was out of elixirs. Those are pretty rare and hard to get too, so with me being on 0 I had no choice but to retreat. This can be annoying and it does happen often enough to become a bit tiresome. Second, and this is very specific, but the first vault we do has a problem, at least at the beginning when your sanity level isn't high yet. Witchfire for the most part is a very skill-based game, and for the most part you can compensate the lack of level with your skill, unless you come upon the green light statues in the vault. If they see you, your sanity will drain fast, and as it does, you receive damage. It happens really quickly, and when you also have to fight enemies, you'll wander into the visual range of the statues a lot. It just seems a bit out of place, to be honest, and the placement of those statues seems purposefully bad. Last but not least, sometimes in lush areas you won't be able to spot witches' minions and it'll cost you a hit or two. This can be mitigated by you inspecting your surroundings a bit more carefully, so it's not that bad, unless some of them spawn behind you and you didn't notice them, and that can happen, but it's not so bad. I can't really find anything else to complain about here, and even with the grievances I mentioned, it's not too hard to live with. Those green statues are still annoying though, and they will stay annoying for as long as devs allow it to be. Let's look at graphics and performance next. For anyone still here, let's check graphics and performance. The visuals are good. I like the appearance of weapons and prayers. They look very cool. Enemies look okay for the most part. They don't exactly stand out, but they don't seem out of place. Maps look good, especially lusher ones. For an indie game, the graphics are okay. It's not exactly cyberpunk levels of path tracing or something similar, but it doesn't need to be. Some of the statues and architectures looks pretty neat, although I'd like a bit more of that, maybe some more gothic style churches and statues, because they really do look good. Performance is great. I didn't have any drops on a 5070 Ti because this isn't Borderlands and you can play it at 2K without needing to use DLSS or frame gen. It's important the game runs good, because while you have to be a bit tactical, it's also really fast, and when action kicks in, you don't have time for stutters and frame drops. Sound and music are up next. I really like the choir music in our base, and overall the music is good, very non-intrusive, and a lot of time you won't even notice it because you'll be in the middle of a frantic fight. Gun sounds are great and you can feel the power of your weapons and spells. A very good thing here is spatial sound, which allows you to hear your victims walking around the big rock you use as your cover, so you can plan your counter accordingly. All in all, sound and music are pretty good. There is a story here and there's a little cutscene at the beginning, but that's pretty much it for cutscenes, at least for now, and that's actually enough. So you play as a prayer, an immortal sinner ready to atone for their sins in the form of being a total badass and fighting against the witch and her evil minions. Even though the church has a number advantage, the witch has a tech advantage, and so prayers are needed to level the playing field. That's where you come in. The story isn't finished yet, we don't have the witch boss fight, but for now the story is serviceable and you can learn more about the world through items you find and the world itself. Is Witchfire worthy of your attention and money? If you like extraction shooters, then for sure. If you like to play single player in a world full of co-op extraction shooters, then again, Witchfire is worth buying now. It's a very good game, better than some full releases even at this stage in the development, and the devs seem to communicate and listen to the community a lot, which is a rare sight these days. Witchfire offers a lot of hours, fast but calculated action and multiple viable builds. Sure, there's some better weapons than others, but the game allows you to find your own playstyle regardless, and maybe what people call S tier won't be that for you. You will be able to finish the game with a loadout you want. I fully recommend Witchfire to anyone craving fast but not mindless action, and to anyone who just wants to look really cool while slaying demons. That's it for this review. Like, subscribe, comment, join me on my socials and Twitch. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.